Welcome back. Ransom Ministries has a new program designed to teach life skills and a sense of purpose. We're going to learn more about that from Matt Armbruster here to tell us all about it. Man, we've got a lot to talk about this morning. You were just talking to me during the commercial break. Good to see you again, first of all.
Good to see you too.
So for the folks who have not seen you here before on Studio 10, just real briefly, what is Ransom Ministries?
We started out as cafes where people could come in and eat for a donation, and then we kind of worked through some things. We found out if we could get them jobs, it kept them from needing our food. So we kind of put the cafes out of business. So we started a job training program called Reprogram, and it's a skills class, life skills, basic skills on how to be coachable, character, show up to work, do those things, and that's called Ransom Reprogram. And then as we went along, we knew we needed a work element, which is a place they could come and work. We call it a theater of work, where they're just practicing the part. They're playing the part of an employee, they're working. So we came up with Ransom Recycle, which is an electronic recycling business where they come in, they work, they get an hourly wage, they learn to show up on time, they learn to tear down computers. We take anything with a cord. It don't matter what it is. We tear it apart, we separate the steel, the plastic, and all that stuff, and we sell it. That way we can pay them their hourly wage, but we also teach them how to handle their money once they start getting a paycheck. So it's a 4-month program. They're with us that long, and then our goal is to move them on to a better job, something that they can go to work for someone in our community.
So let's break it down. If someone is out there and they're in need or they're struggling, how do they get involved with what you're doing in the first place? How does that first step work?
Okay, so we have applications online, which they can get that, or they can come to our location in Chickasaw, which is 320 South Craft Highway, and they can fill out an application. Then we interview them just like a job, and we find out if they're a fit for our program. They have to be wanting to move on with their life. They can't just, it's just not a way to make money. I mean, this is about getting a career, moving on to a better job.
Well, and what you found out too is that just telling them about these things weren't enough. So you instilled this thing where you're actually doing some work and moving forward. And then after that, you were telling me about a term called the ABCs that you're working on. Tell me about this.
So the ABCs of work: any job, a better job, a career. So the any job is tearing a computer apart. You can't mess it up. I mean, they could beat it with a hammer and it ain't gonna mess it up. So that's the any job. Then we move them on to a better job that's going to move them towards a career.
So that's after the 4 months?
That's after the 4 months. Okay. And so like I have a guy that's fixing to be 4 months and he wants to be a mechanic. So I got him a part-time job as a mechanic. He's not certified, he's just doing stuff, but he found out he's got great skills. So that'll move him on hopefully to a career in being a mechanic when he can get his certifications and all those things. So that's my goal really, is to move them on to a career. And we during that program we teach them goal setting. Okay, I want to be a mechanic, but what do I need to do to get there? Okay, I don't have the training, so I need to work towards the training. I don't have a long-term job. I haven't been in a job very long, so I need that better job and stay there at least a year or two and then work myself into a career. So we set goals for them, they set themselves, and then we just hold them accountable and make sure they get them.
And that accountability is huge, and just getting started is huge too, because I feel like there's a lot of people out there when they're down and out, they may feel like it's hopeless to get this process started. But once you go through these ABCs, you have really set the stage for them to become a fully functional, progressive member of society moving forward, and that's what it's all about.
That's right.
All right, so let's talk about this. We've got this book here. This is called Life Outside the Boat. You're the author of this book. Tell us a little bit about what this book is here,
Well,
Matt.
first of all, I'm going to tell you, it's the most grammatically incorrect book you'll probably ever read in your life, because I edited it, and it's just me speaking, and it's just stories about how, over the last 9 years, what we've learned through Ransom, and how we've learned that, you know, just offering relief doesn't help anyone. Just giving something to them does not help someone. Now, that's a vital part to build a relationship. So we talk about relief, rehabilitation, and then we're going to advance them and make them better than they thought they could ever be. So that's what the book's about. It's some stories about how I screwed up during this program, how I've made mistakes, how I've fell and so it's a story of our journey over the last 8 years in Ransom.
Well, and pointing out that everyone needs to grow, everyone makes mistakes, shows that you have to do those things to be able to get to the point that where you're at. So I think it's incredibly important when people are real about that and tell some of the things that they've gone through in the past. If someone out there wants to read this book, how do they go about getting a copy?
Okay, it's on Amazon. Of course, you can go on Amazon, search the title, or you can get them from us at our location. We sell them also. So they're $10 a piece.
Anything else we need to mention before we go here this morning, Matt?
No, man, I just need as many electronics as anybody has out there. there, the more electronics I have, the more people I can put through our program. Because right now, if I don't have electronics, I don't have nothing to do. So
Right.
if you have old electronics laying around in your garage, in your closet, you don't know what to do with, the only thing I ask a fee for is the big old CRT televisions,
Right.
because I send those off and it costs me to get rid of them. So all that does is cover that cost. It's $10 for anything smaller than a 27, and it's $20 for anything bigger. And we also come pick things up if there's enough of it for us to do.
And you can pick them up, or they bring them to the Chickasaw site you mentioned earlier?
8 to 3 every day, Monday through Friday.
All right, sounds good. Matt, good to see you again,
Cool,
buddy.
man. Good seeing
Thanks
you.
for coming
Thanks.
in.
Thank you.
You may not know that some airlines